Hey everyone, welcome to Steph and Key TV. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you thought of today's video. All right, y'all, I know I'm late, but let's get into it, New Jersey. So we are still at Lake George with the ladies. The ladies wake up, Teresa has a hangover, they're making coffee. Marge's assistant, friend of the show, Lexi, went and got everyone breakfast, which was really nice. The ladies are making jokes about like what was in the woods last night. Something chased us. It could have been a fox. And so then they're like, why are we having coffee inside? Let's go outside. And I'm like, well, I'm not having coffee outside because something was in the woods last night. I'm keeping my butt inside. That will make sense to me. But the ladies go have coffee outside. Lexi comes and brings the breakfast, and Marge is talking to her Joe. She asks him about like what went on with the guys last night. He lies and says that the guys didn't talk about Evan when that was like the big majority of their conversation. And Marge is just like, this is ridiculous, we gotta squash this, and Joe agrees. They hang up, and now the ladies are drooling over Teresa's pool boy, pool guy, the guy who put the pool in her backyard that we saw last season, and we figured like they should just hook up because they just seemed like chemistry was there. But she's like drooling over his pictures, his gym photos, and now she's gonna call him in front of the ladies, which is kind of weird to me, but okay, Teresa, go get your man. So Marge, of course, brings up the fact that the guys met up last night. Teresa's like, did Evan go? Marge says no. And then, okay, so like this whole weekend, Teresa's like, I'm done talking about it. I don't want to talk about it. So what's the very next thing that she does? She brings it up. She's like, you know what? I thought about Jackie. I'm even madder now. I'm not calling her back. I'm never apologizing. Worry about your husband. He's probably cheating on her. And it's just like this tirade of stuff that she said she didn't want to talk about. And I love, like in Jennifer's confessional, she's like, Teresa's always like, I don't want to talk about it. But then she'll think about it. And then she's like, oh yeah, I'm mad about this and I'm mad about this. And it's exactly what Teresa did. It's just like, girl, if you don't want to talk about it, don't talk about it. So they're going to go, they squash it. And they want to get on their bathing suits. They're going to go by the lake, I guess. So Dolores pulls Jennifer aside and asks her when she's going to tell Melissa about the whole Joe situation with Teresa's realtor friend. And Jennifer's like, I mean, I just got to wait for the right time to present itself. I want to tell her because there's a rumor out there. And I feel like she also wants to tell her because she still doesn't really like Melissa. But she wants to make sure that she tells her in the right way. So we'll see if that is accomplished, because with Jennifer, you just never know. The ladies are at the lake having a good time. Marge and Dolores are like, we're lounging, we ain't doing nothing. The rest of the ladies want to like kayak and float on stuff, so they get in the water. Jennifer's cracking jokes at Melissa because she's posing, trying to get a photo. And she says she's like the ice princess, but she just hopes that she's not like the ice princess when she delivers this news about Joe, because Melissa's jumped down her throat so many times. But when they go back, because you know the shady editors of Bravo always will, when they go back and get the clips showing Melissa jump down Jennifer's throat, those were all reactions to crazy things that Jennifer has done. Did you forget, Jennifer? I love how she's just like, Melissa's a crazy one, but you forgot that like in that one clip when Melissa jumped down your throat, you were throwing stuff at her at the table. In the other clip when Melissa jumped down your throat, you had broken a glass at the table and was like trying to threaten her with it. It was like, those are all good reasons to jump down someone's throat, Jennifer. Like, all right, Jennifer, we're in a good place, but I'm gonna need you to not have selective amnesia of all your craziness and pretend like people didn't have reasons to call you out. So the ladies are going back out to the house to have some lunch, but Jennifer asks Melissa to stay behind. Everybody's like, oh, okay, what's going on? So Melissa sits down and Jennifer's like, I have something on my mind that I need to tell you. And Melissa's like, okay, here we go. So she tells her, you know, I met the realtor lady. What is her name? So Jennifer's like, I met the realtor lady, Teresa's friend, at Jackie's party. She's like, do you know her? You know her, right? And Melissa's like, yeah, she interviewed us for the Grow with Gorga. I guess like Joe is doing like some seminars and stuff about like being successful in his line of work, which is like what, construction, contracting, all that stuff. So he has like seminars now. And she said, yeah, we met her because she interviewed us for the Grow with Gorga seminar thing. She's like, but I don't really know her. And Jennifer is like, okay, so well, she told me at Jackie's party that Joe was supposed to split the money with the Grow with Gorga seminar thing, and he owes her husband like tens of thousands of dollars. Melissa's like, what? And she's like, why would he even split his Grow with Gorga seminar thing with this man? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, this is our business. And she's like, okay, whatever. She's like, does Teresa know? And Jennifer's like, I don't know. So she's like, okay, well, let's go eat. So she's pissed, but she got over that rather quickly. And Jennifer is happy that like Melissa didn't shoot the messenger. I think Melissa's just very focused on like getting some food so she can build up her strength to whoop someone's ass. And I think that's like the best thing to do. Don't shoot the messenger, go after the person who's spreading the lies. So Melissa and Jennifer come back. The ladies are eating lunch. Of course, Teresa's like, what were y'all talking about? So Jennifer is like, I'll let Melissa tell y'all. So Melissa tells them, and Teresa seems shocked. The rest of them are like, what? And Melissa's like, so you didn't know that she was talking-ish about your brother and spreading these lies, talking about he owes her husband tens of thousands of dollars? And Teresa's like, no, I didn't know. And she's like, but I mean, we don't know what guys do and what's going on in their business. I don't know what's going on in their business. And Melissa in her confessional is like, really? You don't know if your brother's dishonest or not? Okay. So it's like, this is what I love about Teresa. She always expects loyalty from everyone, anyone and everyone on that cast. People who just got onto the cast, she expects loyalty from. But the minute that you expect any kind of loyalty to her, even her own family, she's like, I don't know. I mean, it's my friend. Like, that's her business. I'm not in this. I don't know what's going on. Like, Teresa. And fans of Teresa, explain to me how when Teresa was spreading lies about Jackie and Jackie came back with a nasty analogy, the first thing she did was call Melissa and told her, you better not be friends with this woman afterwards because of what she said about my daughter. Now that it's about her brother, all of a sudden she's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to meet with her on Wednesday and we'll see. Girl, you are so full of it. I could not with her. So they tell Melissa to go call Joe and straighten this out, and that's what she's gonna do. And she does it so easily. Give me loyalty, but I don't really want to give you loyalty. I don't know. I can't with you. Melissa calls Joe. He explains everything. I guess somebody hooked him and this Michelle guy's husband up to do the seminar. He paid him. They were done. But then he saw like the success of how the seminars were doing and he wanted more money. And Joe was like, nah. So Melissa's like, all right. She goes back to the table, tells the ladies, and she's like telling Teresa, like, why do you always pick these crappy friends who are spreading these lies? And Teresa tries to be like, well, she never said it to me. And she's a great realtor, by the way. So we know what that means. That means Teresa is not going to stop being friends with this woman. She needs to get her a new house, and she doesn't give a crap about Joe. But if someone were to say something about her, you best believe she would expect Joe to defend her and be on her side. Ugh. So now we're having this very nice moment with Jackie. Like, she's been MIA, so it's nice to see the flash, like the go-betweens. And Jackie's mother and her brother come over to visit. Jackie's mother's taking her daughter to go shopping, and the boys are staying home with Jackie and her brother. So they shoot some hoops, and they're just chatting, having a good time. And then Jackie and her brother go inside. So they go inside, and we find out that her brother was on a cruise ship when the coronavirus was really bad. And the cruise was only supposed to be 2 weeks, but they got stuck on the ship for like a month because they were trying to figure out like what to do with these people. And he got sick, and It's awful. I mean, and this is a big reason why I do not want to ever go on a cruise. I've never been on a cruise. Like, being stuck at sea on a boat, just trapped, I can't. So that's something I think I will never check off my box. Thankfully, her brother is okay now. But she's just asking him, like, she's just telling him, like, I had a situation with a friend and she backstabbed me by spreading this rumor. And I'm like, girl, like, just, like, I understand that her brother is learning disabled, so it seems like she tries to break things down in, like, simple terms, which is good for anyone. Just give it to me simple. But to call Teresa your friend, no. I mean, I know they were trying to, like, be on good terms with each other, but just be like, this woman lied on me because she was not your friend. She never was. But she's just trying to, like, get some good advice from her brother. He does give her good advice, like, simple good advice, like, just brush it off. I just brush it off and I learned to move on. And she's like, do you think someone who could do something so, like, vile could be, like, just change and be a better person? And he's like, anyone can. So, I mean, he's got great, good advice, like, simple, just move on. But for some of us, and including the housewives, that can be a little bit harder to do, just to move on. And we know it's not going to happen because this is Housewives and we are dealing with Teresa and Jackie. So as good of advice as it was, I just don't think it's going to apply at all in this situation. So the ladies are having a very lovely dinner. They're just chit-chatting, talking about, like, dating and almost getting divorces because of this pandemic. Marge brings up that she got a book deal, so the ladies are excited. Congratulations, Marge. She's just talking about, like, how she, like, growing up and then how she got her start into fashion and, like, what she does with her business now. I forgot. She's in fashion. She has, like, I think, like, a line of bags and stuff, just clothing and stuff. But she talks about how when she was young and she had, like, this really great job and her boss was, like, 20 years older, they would go and look at, shops and buy clothes and stuff and do all this stuff for the business, but then they would go back to his place and he would coerce her into having sex with him, and she did it. And she was just saying, like, it was a different time and you just felt all this pressure to, sleep with your boss so you could keep your job and have your career because, like, a lot of, like, with the Me Too movement and in a lot of these hostile work environments, if you say no, that could be, like, the end of your career. And if you're so young, just starting out, you're just getting, on the go, like, the last thing you want is your career to be shattered and you feel like, if I don't do this, that's, like, the end of me, and who knows when I can ever get this big opportunity again. Jennifer is kind of judgy about it in her confessionals, saying, like, that's something she would never admit to or, like, let alone writing her book. I feel like it's really not our place to judge as far as, like, hostile work environments. You never know, like, what you would do in that situation. Even if you were to say no, I don't feel like it's right to judge other women in that situation because, like, you don't know what they're up against. And it's not really on the woman to feel the shame. I feel like it's on the men to feel the shame for putting this pressure on these women to sleep with them just so they can keep their job. That's disgusting and it's gross and it's illegal. So I don't feel like Marge should have any shame about it. I feel like she should definitely write about it so that more young women could not feel alone if they have been in those situations or they are presented with those situations. They hopefully can feel like they can speak up and not feel like their careers are going to be ruined if they say no. So they continue to talk and laugh, and Teresa's just, like, mentioning that this is light, this is fun. Jackie's not light, she's not fun. And it's just like, enough, Teresa. I'm agreeing with Jennifer. In her confessional, she's like, Teresa wants Jackie to get over this rumor, but Teresa won't let it go. Like, she keeps bringing it up, and it's like, wasn't Teresa, like, in the last episode just saying how she doesn't hold a grudge, she lets things go, she gets over things so easily? And yet here we are, like, she's always it writes itself. She always presents us with these opportunities of her being a hypocrite and her like telling these bold-faced lies. Like, girl, you always hold a grudge. You held like a never-ending dying grudge. She's never going to get over this, ever. But I just love how all of these women want Jackie to get over this rumor about an affair. Good luck, Jackie. So Marge and Jackie meet up. They're meeting up for some coffee, and Marge is trying to get Jackie to see that Teresa didn't plan this, and that in her head she feels like she was like, if the rumor was going around, she would want to know. And Jackie's like, no. And she's like, I love you, but you can't be this gullible. She's like, if Teresa really cared about me and wanted to let me know about this rumor, she could have pulled me aside and told me, but she told everybody else at his birthday party and didn't tell Jackie. She definitely premeditated this. It's just like, it's a joke at this point. And so Jackie's like, so did you forgive like, I can't believe that you're forgiving this person when she told Danielle to go ahead and pull your hair. And Marge is like, well, forgiveness is more about me, not the other person. So Jackie's like, do you forgive Danielle? I was like, dang, Jackie is on fire. Marge is like, she's like, I'm over it. I'm letting it go. And Jackie's like, you're feeding me bull because I'm not buying this whatsoever. You do not forgive that woman, and I'm not going to forgive Teresa. So Marge is just like what can we do? And Jackie's like, well, I'm not going to be over it until my husband's over it. And so he's not over it right now. And so Marge is like, so like, how do we fix this? So Jackie's like, I want to throw him like a redo party with just friends and family that care about him so that we can put this whole party that turned into crap behind us and move forward. So Marge is down for that. There's just like, I've heard that Jackie leaves the show at some point, so I just don't think this is going to be the end of this mess. So, I mean, it sucks because, I mean, I want them to be able to continue shooting. I did hear that Jackie comes back, so it's just like, it's a mess, y'all. It's a mess. So we'll see. So Michelle, the realtor, comes over. They're going over the house, and she's just letting Teresa know that she needs to get rid of all the personal stuff, anything religious, because it needs to be like a clean slate when someone walks in. So Teresa's getting emotional. Like, we see flashbacks of like the kids being young in the house, her father before he passed away, and it's just like super sad. But then they go outside. Michelle and Teresa go outside, and Michelle's assistants start working on stuff. And Teresa brings up the fact, you know, like, what's going on with you and my brother? And she's like, well, my husband and him need to work it out. Like, it has nothing to do with us. And Teresa's like, well, you know, I can't list my house with you until they work it out. I feel like that was for show. I feel like she made sure that was on camera so that we would see, I'm defending my brother, but she's going to list that house with that woman no matter what. And we know it. She does not care. She wants the best, right? She said she was the best realtor. She wants the best selling her house, and she's going to do it no matter what happens between Michelle and Joe. We know this. So everyone's getting ready for Evan's redo party, and we know that Frank is coming with Dolores because David always has to work. Frank is joking, saying, like, I'm like your gay husband. Like, I'm like a gay guy to you. Like, I just go to all the events with you, and we come home and we don't sleep together. So, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Like, Frank goes with Dolores to all the events, and David's the one sleeping with Dolores. So it's like, Dolores has got her thing going on. I feel like it's strange that Jackie's only inviting, like, the people from the show and none of Evan's other friends. So it seems like she just wants them to come to make sure to fight. Like, I feel like she just wants everybody to come to see who's really going to support her and go up against Teresa, which is difficult because, like, Joe and Melissa, like, have to support Teresa. Like, he's like, I'm not going to, like, bash my sister. And, I mean, Melissa has to go along with it. Jennifer was never really friends with Jackie, so she's gonna defend Teresa. Which I'm like, why go then? If you're gonna make sure that you're defending Teresa, then don't even go. And I feel like Marge is gonna be in a like a sticky situation, like a rough place. And we know Dolores is ride or die for Teresa. So I just don't understand why she's gonna bring all of these people and then try to bash Teresa. It's just not gonna work out. And I feel like maybe this is when Jackie's gonna leave. Because she told Evan, like, if they're not gonna support me, why am I here? And I feel like she's gonna learn hard that they're not gonna support her. Not against Teresa. So we're at Evan's redo party. This is so funny that we're having to have this redo party. But like Melissa and Joe come. Jackie doesn't apologize about the analogy, but she's just saying, you know, like, it was an analogy. Of course, like, I don't think it's real about Gia. So Joe is trying to defend his sister, and he just like comes up with the same dumb logic as Teresa, and he's like, I think she was just looking out for you. And they're like, no. Jackie's like, come on, that's BS. Evan's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Joe pauses, and he's like, yeah, that was dumb. Because he doesn't know what to do. I wish Jackie would just like let it go when it comes to Joe. Like, I don't care how pissed I am at your family member. I'm not going to expect you to, like, bash them with me. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't talk about it with you. I might bash them to my friends and somebody else, but I'm not going to try to get you to, like, bash them with me. That's your family. You know what I mean? So I feel like Jackie, when it's concerning Joe and Melissa, needs to let it go. With everyone else, completely fine. If she wants to, like, tear Teresa to shreds and keep bringing it up. But when it comes to like Joe and Melissa, she really needs to drop it because that's his family and he's never going to be completely on your side. So just stop. All right, so Jackie, this is all she's talking about is this rumor. Jennifer comes, like Marge and Joe come, Jennifer comes and she's trying to defend Teresa and Jackie's just like, well, I guess Teresa's allowed to say whatever she wants about my family, but I can't say anything about hers. Which is true. I mean, let's be honest. Teresa can say anything about anyone. They can't say anything about her. As much as I'm on Jackie's side, please stop bringing it up. Please. She, like, every time somebody comes, she brings it up. She's talking about it. Like, hey, Frank, can you make sure that Evan knows that he's supported by you guys? Like, enough, Jackie. I feel like Jackie was lying, and I don't feel like Evan was as pissed off as Jackie was. I feel like Jackie's the one who's really pissed off. Evan just doesn't seem that upset about it. He seems like, you know, he seems mad, but he's not as obsessing over it like Jackie is. Maybe it's a different story at home. I'm not getting that vibe from him. I feel like he's upset and he wants to not have anything to do with this woman. But I feel like Jackie's the one who's really upset and is never going to let this go. They ask her if she can be in a room with Teresa. She said yes, but I'm not going to acknowledge her. She gives this toast, this half-drunken toast, toasting to Evan and just saying, like, to all the girls he slept with when he's supposedly going to the gym. So, like, I mean, she's, like, making jokes about it, but you know she's still pissed, and this is not going to die. But it was a good episode. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you're in the know when I release a new video. And like I said, subscribe. I would love to have you a part of Steph and Key TV. And stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!